Could De'Aaron Fox be the next player on the move and the next player that the Orlando Magic should target? Today, we're going to get into that. Plus, what's been going on with the Orlando Magic over the last handful of nights. It's been a bit of an up and down stretch for the Orlando Magic, but we're going to get into all of that and more. But first, I got to address, where have I been the last handful of days? Well, I've been covering the Reese's Senior Bowl, and if you're a fan of the NFL, a fan of college football as well, you know that that's a huge thing. So I'm in Mobile, Alabama. I'm not in Orlando right now. So you guys are just going to have to bear with me. I'm in a little bit of a different setting, and I got a handheld mic on me, but we're going to try to make it do talking Orlando Magic basketball. Okay, let's get into what exactly is going on with De'Aaron Fox right now. So just recently, it has been made apparent that the Sacramento Kings are going to be fielding offers for De'Aaron Fox. It seems like he's got his mind made up as far as what free agency is going to look like for him in a couple years. And it just seems like that whole ordeal with Sacramento might be coming to an end. We've seen this with a lot of organizations where they have a star player and they're trying to build some stability within their front office and just in general with the team. And the Sacramento Kings, despite having De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and making the playoffs in recent memory and breaking the streak, right, with this kind of core, just don't really seem to have it. So they're going to be fielding offers, and he fits with what the Orlando Magic are trying to do. Now, salary cap wise, we've been over this. It's going to be a struggle for the Magic to acquire anybody of note once they end up paying Paolo Banchero, and they've kind of already penciled that in. And why wouldn't you? Of course, you're going to pay Paolo Banchero. So you got Suggs on the books for a huge contract. Franz obviously on the books for a lot, and then Paolo on the books for probably the same amount of that Franz is on. Now, the only, positive part about all of that is kind of just positive part is you're not paying them a ton because it's going to be in a little bit of a different situation, right? Than they were in previous years, because you were thinking that they were going to get paid a super max contract. Well, we'll see if they all hit those marks for the future, but De'Aaron Fox is going to come at a price, and right now it does look like the time could be now to strike. When we look at this team and what has been going on with the Orlando Magic, Fox fixes a lot of this. First of all, Fox is averaging 26.7 points per game, I believe, or right around there, and has just been one of the better players in the NBA, especially in the Western Conference when you're talking about the guards. Excuse me, he's averaging 25 points per game. I was looking off to the side. I thought that was the accurate number, but 5 boards per game, 6 assists. He is obviously a really, really good player and would upgrade this team scoring wise, which I think is very necessary. Now, what do we need to give up to go get him? Well, probably can't and don't want to trade Jalen Suggs. I've talked about Cole Anthony. His trade value is certainly a lot higher than it was at the start of the season, but I'm going to say that it's probably going to have to deal with draft picks. Sacramento's probably going to look to rebuild in a sense. Anthony Black, I would say, has to be in this deal, unfortunately. And I know that was a little bit of a contention point in the last video that I made about a trade, but Wendell Carter Jr. is also probably going to have to be in this. A lot of the players who the Orlando Magic just recently signed are still available to be traded at the deadline, so probably going to have to include that. Maybe Jonathan Isaac, he's on a team-friendly deal, but I don't know exactly the angle for the Kings to take those guys. Maybe just to try to figure out cap space would help Orlando in that sense. Now, can you even afford De'Aaron Fox, Suggs, Franz, and Paolo? No, not really. This team would definitely struggle if that was the case. If that was the core that this team were to invest in, this front office were to invest in, it would be a definite struggle, I think, to get some auxiliary pieces around them. And we would definitely be in the second apron. And with the way that the NBA has made the salary cap and the punishments to other teams, is that worth it? Probably not as much as you'd think. But so let's talk about what has been going on in the recent games. Well, they won against Detroit, which was really good. Franz and Paolo dropped 32 points. It was pretty dominant for the offense in that game. 121 total points put up. Then this is coming after the Trailblazers blowout loss, and then they lost to Miami in a double overtime game. That game was really great to watch. 119-125. Magic fought hard. The Heat So they don't even have Jimmy Butler right now, and we still lost to them. That was kind of a little bit of a crushing loss, but the Magic fought hard, and there seems to be an uptick in the offense, which has been really nice. So whether or not this team makes a move at the deadline is okay, because I do think that they're going to figure it out a little bit. Although our Achilles heel is no doubt the 3-point shooting and the scoring. And so that is something that is definitely going to have to improve in the future years. Now, I wanted to pose a question to people in the comment section below, whether or not you think that this team is going to, at the end of the year, when we assess why this team lost, if it's going to be because of the 3-point shooting. I know this seems like a very obvious question to ask, but whenever I pose these trade questions and the trade deadline is coming, it's looming, what do we assess of these players on our team, and should we deal them? And I talk all about this cap situation, and it's certainly interesting. Every time a team's dealing with this. Do you think truly that this is going to be the Achilles heel for this team? And if so, then what do you think about the trades here? Because I do notice in the comments below a lot of people, if they think that the 3-point shooting is bad enough and it's the true Achilles heel for the team, you bypass the salary cap concerns and you bypass some of the, we haven't been able to assess this team yet. This team has been injured, some of those concerns, and you say, we got to make a deal. We got to be aggressive. We got to go for it right now, because yes, this front office has shown that they're not going to make an aggressive trade like that, but we're going to have to continue on and try to make a push for the playoffs and something like that. I think it's a really interesting conversation, and I think it's just an extra little wrinkle when we're talking about all of these trades and what they mean for this team, and what they could potentially mean going forward. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's been definitely a hectic time, but I'm just trying to get out that Orlando Magic basketball content for you guys. So I'll see you guys next time.